Okay, I'm back to my project now. I've done a different project this morning. I let this furnace running in the background. I hope that if I put the camera opposite to the furnace, that might be the camera is going to pick up my voice more than the furnace. Because at a point I need the furnace to heat. In the far background, as you can see, on the mezzanine there's like a red picture frame. It's actually a door accessing the wood storage area above the wood shop. And I put my large fan, industrial fan, which will take the stale air or the, let's say, the fumes and put that outside. Actually, it's not outside, but it's going to vent very easily outside. And on the counter desk, which seems to be like a black fridge, is a fridge. Yes, that's a Christmas gift from my mother-in-law. So that's purely for storing water, nothing else. Yep. Okay. I cut those parts off camera, a small piece of flat bar. My idea is to have some kind of pipe here, like so, and have a, let's say, small frame in between so it can tilt freely Okay, I managed to remove the master pin. The idea for doing so is to make sure I get the proper alignment from in between the sides and within the same side too. It's easier to get the full length pin to get them aligned, but whenever you heat the material, it's going to stuck in there. So, that in place, then weld this bushing on the back. Okay. So this would be the tilt. Bushings will be welded here in place, and yet I'll be able to remove it by removing the pin. Okay, let's say that this is going forward and the plow will tilt, so it will go as low as this, and this is what I wanted to have free access here. So what I'm going to do is to weld a bracket that will go from this to this to this, so that you get some triangle between, so this one isn't going to take the wall load, so it's going to distribute the load to the bottom, to the base, which is mostly important, and some part of the load at the top too. Okay, after taking a lot of time to figure many things, and going back and forth with different ideas, I've concluded that too strong would not be hurting anything, except when using that kind of plow on a tractor, you don't mind about the weight that much. The UTV, you're kind of a diet, let's say so. So you have to manage all the weight because it's a suspended weight when it's going to be taken on the front suspension. I don't target to modify anything. There's a power steering, that's good, but I don't want to break that power steering too. So this is the main beam that will take most of the load and the pushing motion. Lifting is not going to take much load. Now I need to come up with two arms like so. But the idea for the plow is to have the pivot corner as close as possible to the mold board. So when tilting, it's going to rotate instead of going sideways. I'm pretty sure you get the point. By the way, so this is mechanical tubing. It's 1/4 of an inch thick wall, 1 inch inside, 1.000, okay? So if you take cold roll pins, which is as exact as you can get on the market without having to put that on the lathe, you'll get 1.000, give or take. If you try to slide a 1 inch pin into a 1 inch mechanical tubing, it's going to seize. So what's the trick about this? How can I have that pin to slide so freely? Okay, and I'll show you. It's very minimal plate, very small plate. Okay, that's not a long bushing, by the way, huh? So the trick is very easy. Metric pin and 1 inch tube. Metric 25 millimeters, and the exact value for 1 inch is 25.4, so you get a 0.4 gap in between. So you just need to combine this 25 millimeter metric pin with a mechanical tube and you get this. Okay, that's it. Enough time last. Okay, this will be welded here like so. This is a 2x2 angle iron welded against the 2x3. So I'm going to weld one line here and the same on the other side. So the reason why I'm going to take that piece of 2x2. Let's say I weld here and here. It's not ideal, especially if there's pushing force this way. So whenever you weld across that tube, it's going to weaken it. not that much, but a little bit. If you weld all along this surface, I'm not to affect much the strength of that tube. Same for this, and yet I still have some strong resistance to with that tube. So that's what I'm planning to do. This is why I use that 1/4 inch angle iron, because this tube is only 1,000. It's only not even an eighth thick. So if I weld this bushing right there, it's going to tear the material. So I'm going to spread the load along with that angle iron. That's for the bottom of the pin. For the top, what I do is pretty much the same. So that's a lot of weight. I'm kind of not sure that it's going to be, it's way too strong. But then, if I use that kind of tube, 1.5 by 1.5, instead of that 2 by 3, yeah, it's going to be maybe 5 more pounds. So what is 5 more pounds on such a frame? Not much, but yet, like I said, we're on a diet for that plow. Anyways, there are some more technical details here. So I've cut it a little bit shorter so I can match the plate, that tube and that tube together in one single weld. Same on the other side. So there will be not the size, but here is going to be the tail, like so. So that's the plan for now. So I need to pre-weld those together. I go on the other side of the table, and I'm going to come back for the weld onto this one. By the way, this is a square on which I put some angle iron, which is 2 square. And what is really great about that is that you can clamp a piece onto the square. Okay, bottom and top angle iron welded. Then the bushing that I'm going to weld here. You see me plying with that. This is a screwdriver that is so it's a pretty much a handy pry bar. So I stick that underneath because the angle iron could have done this while welding this spot. So doing so and doing so would end up with that pin that wouldn't fit anymore. So that's why I was stressing the bushing upward, welding, try to wait until the spot weld cools down, and then releasing the pressure so I get this pretty much in good alignment. It's never for the arms going to the UTV. Alright, so I kind of like to have it like maybe 30 degrees in between each. Not sure I'm getting the 30 degrees. 35 degrees would be best. 45 degrees is too much. I've learned that with the bowl, and I can do 45 degrees, but at some point just put sideways the front end of that bowline 35 degrees is best. Less than that, 30 degrees works, and even less than that is not going to work much. So you won't have the snow sliding on one side. So I'll stick with my first idea, is to have two arms, 30 degrees each, 60 degrees. I hope the saw can do that.